We have so many other unbelievable dignitaries. I won't talk too much about you because we'll be here all night. This room is loaded up with the biggest leaders in the world, business, sports. You know, my son is a big fan of Ronaldo, wherever Ronaldo is here. Ronaldo. And Barron got to meet him, and I think he respects his father a little bit more now, just the fact that I introduced you. So I just want to thank you both for being here. Thank you very much. Really an honor.
Look, if you're surprised Cristiano Ronaldo would attend a White House black tie dinner with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, you have not been paying attention. Here he was snapping photos with all the fascists like Elon Musk, the head of FIFA and official Trump glazer Gianni Infantino, Epstein neighbor Howard Lutnick, and a member of the PayPal mafia David Sachs.
This President Trump, friend of mine, was given a CR7 shirt by the Portuguese European Council President Antonio Costa in June at the G7 summit. And you wrote on it, to President Donald J. Trump, playing for peace. What did you mean by that?
If the world is in peace, it's our goal. He's one of the guys that can change or help to change the world. One of the guys that I want to sit to have a nice talk. It was one of the guys.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
But I think that he believes in peace, not war. It makes him unusual for a Republican American president. He could
and we can do something. Imagine me, you, sir, Mr. Trump.
Yes.
In one table.
Yes.
Imagine. Will be fun.
I think this is a great idea.
Different.
Yes.
Like around
at the White House.
Will be even better.
Why not? You got to play.
Imagine.
I haven't even got to buy an air ticket.
No problem.
I'll come with you.
Something different, beautiful, good conversation.
I think he would love it.
I mean,
to promote the World Cup in his country, what could be better?
Oh, look.
And here he was talking all things Trump to the president's buddy, Piers Morgan.
He had some trouble in his life a few months ago, and a friend of his sent him some of my videos, and he said he had watched those, and then he read my book, one of my books, and found them very helpful, and he wanted to talk. So I went out to his house and we talked for about 2 hours.
Were you, in a way, the Ted Lasso figure in his life?
Well, that's what it felt like.
He didn't realize he was missing?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he did realize that he was missing it because he seemed to have found it to some degree in those lectures.
It seemed to me, talking to him in the last couple of days after he saw you, he's in a much better place, actually.
That's what happens when you hang out with a reprobate like me.
Yes, does it make you feel good that even people like him can find great solace from watching your lectures?
Well, all that makes me feel good. I mean...
And years back, he went and met with this dude, Jordan Peterson.
Cristiano Ronaldo has completed his move to Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr.
After all, he took blood money to join an irrelevant club in Saudi Arabia, which has only helped this become a reality.
The message is clear. Saudi Arabia wants to disrupt world football. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, is on a one-man journey to transform how his nation is seen by the global community, but also its own 35 million people. Saudi Arabia is infamous for a scourge of human rights abuses, and in combating that reputation, plus appeasing a rapidly growing and youthful population, MBS has alighted on sport.
At the White House, it was unknown if the greatest Portuguese footballer of all time was a part of the Crown Prince's official delegation. Still, he may very well be, as he has become a useful, albeit expensive pawn for Saudi Arabia to manufacture consent in an attempt to sway public opinion on the pitiful human rights record and environmental impact of their oil industry. From Durbal Jordan of the BBC, Ronaldo has faced a sexual assault allegation from Catherine Mayorga stemming from an incident in a Las Vegas hotel room in the year 2009. He'd say, quote, "I firmly deny the accusations being issued against me. Rape is an abominable crime that goes against everything that I am and believe in." That statement came in 2018. 1 year later, prosecutors in the States said the star will not face charges because the claims could not be proven. This would not be the only sexual assault allegation in the room.
Billionaire Elon Musk denounced a news report that he sexually harassed a flight attendant in 2016 as, quote, utterly untrue. Business Insider reported on Thursday that Musk's SpaceX paid $250,000 in 2018 to settle a sexual harassment claim from an unnamed private jet flight attendant who accused Musk of exposing himself to her. The article quoted an anonymous person who said she was a friend of the flight attendant. The friend had provided a statement as part of the private settlement process, according to the article. Late on Thursday, Musk tweeted, quote, "I have a challenge to this liar who claims their friend saw me exposed. Describe just one thing, anything at all, scars, tattoos, that isn't known by the public. She won't be able to do so because it never happened." Reuters was not able to verify the Business Insider account. Musk gleefully tweeted that he would refer to this particular scandal as Elon Gate, which he said, quote, "is kinda perfect." Musk and SpaceX did not respond to Reuters' requests for comments on the Business Insider story or on Musk's tweets. Business Insider quoted the friend of the flight attendant as saying that, in addition to allegedly exposing himself, Musk rubbed the flight attendant's thigh and offered to buy her a horse if she would, quote, "do more" during an in-flight massage. The flight attendant came to believe that her refusal to accept Musk's proposal had hurt her opportunities to work at SpaceX and prompted her to hire a lawyer in 2018, according to Business Insider. The news report said the rocket company made the settlement out of court and included a non-disclosure agreement that prevented the flight attendant from speaking about it.
A jury in New York finding Donald Trump, the Republican presidential frontrunner by far, liable for sexually abusing and defaming writer E. Jean Carroll. The jury also awarding the former magazine columnist nearly $5 million in damages to be paid by Mr. Trump. Carroll's lawsuit stemmed from an encounter between her and Trump in a New York department store dressing room in 1996, Bergdorf Goodman's, where she claims Donald Trump sexually assaulted her. Another very serious case in New York City. Just last month, the former president pleaded not guilty to 34 felony charges related to hush money payments to adult film star and director Stormy Daniels. Not to mention investigations by the Justice Department into January 6th and to those classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. Not to mention the investigation by prosecutors in Fulton County, Georgia, who are looking into his attempt to flip Georgia, perhaps illegally, in the 2020 election.
Thus, on David Sacks, not only is he aligned with Peter Thiel, but the fellow tech billionaire wrote in a 1995 book titled The Diversity Myth, Multiculturalism and Political Intolerance on Campus. They opined of Stanford's sexual assault policies. It is ludicrous to believe that anyone who had been forcefully violated would not know it and bear physical marks. Their words. More. But since a multicultural rape charge may indicate nothing more than belated regret, a woman might realize that she had been raped the next day or even many days later. Under these circumstances, it's unclear who should be held responsible. If the alcohol made both of them do it, then why should the woman's consent be obviated any more than the man's? Why is all blame placed on the man? Sacks, Musk, and Peter Thiel, meanwhile.
This is really illuminating, Chris. Who are the PayPal mafia, and how are they linked to apartheid-era South Africa?
Well, they're a group of men who are at the top, the founding of PayPal, all of whom, in some way or other, grew up in South Africa as children. You've got Musk himself, who was born in South Africa and lived there, went to high school there until he was 18 and then moves to Canada. You've got Peter Thiel, who was a co-founder with Musk of PayPal. Thiel was born in Germany but brought to South Africa as a young child. His father was a mining engineer. Lived in Johannesburg and then moved to Southwest Africa, which was then a South African colony, is now Namibia. And he went to school in Swakopmund, which was notorious as probably the last place on the planet where people still openly greeted each other with Heil Hitler and celebrated Hitler's birthday. He went to a German school there before moving to the United States when he was 10 or 11. You've got David Sacks, who was born in Cape Town. He's big in PayPal and is now Trump's AI and crypto czar. He moved to Tennessee as a relatively young child, but grew up in the white South African diaspora there. And you've got Roelof Botha, who was the son of the grandson of Pik Botha, the last foreign minister of apartheid South Africa. He was the acceptable face of apartheid. You'll remember he used to run around the United States trying to put a gloss on how they were reforming things and that everything was getting better.
And what about Thiel, Sachs, and Elon's good buddy Alex Karp?
Getting wealthy off of killing Palestinians with Palantir kills Palestinians with their AI and technology.
Oh.
They're killing my family in Palestine.
Yeah. And, you know, well, do you want to hear my answer?
Watch this conceited, smug, arrogant, pretentious, spineless little squirm his way through an absolute tone-deaf sociopathic answer as he's confronted with the reality that his company, Palantir, he being the CEO, are complicit in mass murdering children in Gaza for the crime of assisting the Israeli occupation forces with surveillance data, targeting, AI, intelligence, software, and even operational planning.
So, I think the primary cause of death to Palestinians, primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are...
Of course, we all knew that he was bound to drop the H word in his contrived, choreographed response, and now we have on record that the CEO of Palantir, Alex Karp, is guilty of war crimes, as collective punishment is a war crime under international law. But a curious thing happened after he said this. He got shut down.
Is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots that will...
And all she had to say was, "That's not an excuse." And he is completely silenced. Watch him falter as he realizes slowly that condemning Hamas no longer works in justifying the Israeli war crimes of collective punishment and genocide.
Can we get security up there?
And now look, his little stage buddy has to call for backup. Pathetic.
Sherilyn Ifill, a civil rights attorney, would post that Musk, Thiel, and Sachs all share formative ties to apartheid South Africa is such an obvious tell that I guess folks have just chosen to ignore it. I do not and will not, as they more publicly embrace positions and views and candidates whose views on race and discrimination are consistent with the grotesquely racist values of that odious regime. The omission becomes more glaring. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.